Merriman faces currently 1 count of first-degree murder and the death of Scott Harkness. We hope this arrest can be the first step in healing for Scott's family, for his friends, and for our community. We want to thank those that offered their support for Scott's family, offered their support to this police department, and for those that called in tips and were submitting information per our request in any way that they could help out. We thank everybody so much for that. We also want to make sure we thank our partners at the ATF and with the Mesa Police Department, who provided forensic support for us to be able to process the evidence in this case as quickly as we could so that we could find the suspect, locate him, and place him under arrest. And that's the statement we have for now. I can answer some limited questions just based on the fact that the investigation is still ongoing. We have captured the suspect, but we still have a little bit more work to do on the case.
Can you give us Merriman's date of birth?
Not at this time, but he should be booked down at county, and that may be information that's available once he's been fully booked in and seen a judge there.
And you said that he was known to Scottsdale Police. Can you tell us why he was known, anything that he had done in the past for him to be noticed by you guys?
What I can tell you on that is we have had previous incidents and reports with John Merriman.
Will you be able to explain or tell us what kind of weapon you found?
We're not going to release information on that at this time, but that will be information that will be available through a records request process later.
You mentioned Scott, what he meant to this community. Do you know if these two knew each other? Was there any motive behind what happened to you?
Right now, we're still looking into possible motives on how this really actually came together and how it happened. We don't have any immediate information that points toward that Scott and Mr. Merriman knew each other in any way.
So at this point, are you considering this or investigating this as if it's just two strangers and this happened?
The information we have right now is that this seems to be a very tragic and unfortunate random act of violence.
You mentioned forensics, linking the two together was theirs. I guess, was it an easier process with forensic being able to identify the two and linking them together, and then this morning going and being able to find Merriman? Was the forensics really the difference in this case?
Forensics played a huge role in being able to tie the weapon we found to Scott's injuries, as well as being able to tie it to Merriman as our suspect.
I was going to add, you got a lot of tips from the Scottsdale community and stuff. How does that show how the city is?
From the very beginning, when we announced Scott was our victim, we had an enormous outpouring of thoughts and prayers and sentiment from our community about Scott. There were so many people that knew him, both internal employees to the city as well as the residents of our community. And that really played a huge role in the support we felt to make sure that we got Scott the justice he deserved. All victims deserve justice, but we really could sense and feel the support from the community rallying behind this case in particular because of what Scott meant to them. He never met a stranger, from what I'm told, and was well liked by just about everybody that we've talked to about this, and again, made friends quickly and did wonderful random acts of kindness for people. And the tips we received were helpful, and it does really go back to receiving tips and then also piecing together evidence that's collected on scene, and then using that forensics and the science that we have to be able to put all those pieces together. We may not always know the why things happen, but and sometimes maybe not always the how exactly, but we start to piece together the facts of who was there, what happened, and we're pleased with the outcome in this case, that we were able to locate the suspect as quickly as we did and make sure that we arrest him so that he can't hurt anybody else at this point.
Do you have any idea why either men were there?
Our information on that is that was a common route for Scott to take walking home after he would go to some of the old town or downtown establishments, and that was a common route for him to go to and from his home in that area of Old Town.
And I know Merriman, you said, lives in Phoenix. So do you have any idea why he might have been in that area?
That's information we're still looking at to confirm why he was in that area at all. He is an individual that was known to us through some other investigations, and my understanding he did frequent Scottsdale, as many people do for different reasons, but we're still looking into some of that.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Thank you again for all being here. Thank you.